So, hi there class. Today we're going to be looking at how different operations affect the graph of a function. So today we're going to use an open-ended content exploration tool called Desmos. And what it is it's a graphing calculator that you can access online. So we're going to go down here. To access Desmos, you go to my website, obviously, do newsletter assignment. And then from in here, we're going to scroll down, come down here, and we see we have Desmos. And I also posted a tutorial here to familiarize yourself. So we go into Desmos, and we're going to talk about why it's effective. So Desmos is an effective tool because you're able to change the equations in real time and see how the functions, the exponents, how different operations affect the actual graphs. So what we're going to do is look at all these things that you can do with Desmos. There's all these cool graphs you can make, and these are all made by typing in equations. So you can make cool pictures like the castles, the moon, but we're going to be using it to model functions that we can look at in real life. So what you do is you start graphing, and it's going to pull this up. So when you see your graph, there's nothing on it. So what you have to do is all equations start with y equals, and let's do x. Well, when we put y equals x, you get a straight line. So that's kind of neat. You can see that it goes through 0, 0, and it's a linear line. So what happens if we do y equals 3? There's a second blue line that appeared, and it's on the line y equals 3. So there's a lot of cool things we can do with graphs. Now let's go back to our y equals x. And what we're going to do is we're going to do shift 6 to put the caret, and we're going to put 2 up there. So now we see that y equals x squared is no longer a linear line, but it's a parabola. So that's kind of neat. So let's take our y equals x squared, and what happens if we add 3? We can now see that our graph has gone from parabola to shifted up 3 onto this blue line. So there's even more things we can do. Y equals x squared plus 3. Oop, missed the equals. Now what happens if we put the x in parentheses and we'll do x minus 2? So now we have this black line, and you can differentiate the different lines with these colors over here. So now we have this black line, and you can see that the minus 2 actually shifted it right too. Alright, so now that you kind of understand how Desmos works, just explore with it. Find as many equations, y equals e to the 200 square root of 3x. And look at this line that it creates, almost straight up. But the deeper in we go, we can see, oh wow, this line, you can start to see where it starts to diverge off of 0 at 0.0005. So as you can see, you have to just explore with the Desmos itself, create different equations, and notice what different operations do to the graph. You're going to want to see how a minus 2 might move it a different direction, or how squaring it might make it steeper. So now we're going to talk about why Desmos is an efficient way to use to learn how equations are graphed. So it's efficient because you, the students, can actually make the connections yourself and learn it by watching what happens versus me explaining it in a way that only half you might understand. So this definitely enhances student knowledge because there's a visual representation. You can see what's going on. And this is an engaging program because you get to work at your own pace. You get to be as creative as you want and make as many equations as you want. So I hope you like this little presentation of Desmos. I hope you guys can play around with it a bit and learn what different operations do to equations. Bye.